Hi there, everyone. Nature is stunning, but it can turn dangerous in a heartbeat. Today, we're looking at some of its wildest, most jaw-dropping moments, the kind that remind you to always respect the power of the natural world. Stick with us till the end, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Southeastern Minnesota got hit hard by intense thunderstorms, and by the next afternoon, almost 84,000 people were still without power. Quick safety reminder: if you can hear thunder, you're already close enough for lightning to be a real danger. Head indoors. That eerie effect over the water in Florence happens when freezing air passes over a much warmer surface. This scene is a sobering reminder that when heavy rain doesn't let up, streets, homes, and whole neighborhoods can turn dangerous fast. Scientists call the Ilgraben Basin in Switzerland one of the most active debris flow zones on the planet. Over 100 dolphins showed up to escort a whale-watching boat off Newport Beach, California. These square-shaped waves on Lake Michigan prove nature can design better geometry than any blueprint. In weather like this, a hard hat, safety goggles, and solid shelter become your three best friends. Flying foxes are actually fruit and nectar-loving bats, and unlike their smaller cousins, they navigate mostly by sight and smell instead of echolocation. Fierce winds and snow blasted the higher elevations of Primorje-Gorski Kotar County in northwestern Croatia. 62 miles per hour wind gusts tore through Toronto, sending wooden panels and debris flying into buildings and streets, a good reminder to secure loose items before a storm hits. Please be careful with wild mushrooms. So many lookalikes have wildly different safety levels, so never eat what you can't positively identify. Meet Rau's intermediate golden-backed frog. Researchers have only spotted around 40 of these in the area. This avalanche on Mount Elbrus was actually triggered on purpose, but it still buried parking lots and roads near the Azau resort in snow. In mountain ranges like the Wasatch, elevation changes mean fall colors show up at totally different times across the same landscape. Drone footage like this gives us a way better sense of a mountain's terrain, slopes, and contours than we'd ever get from the ground. If you're loving these clips, smash that like button and subscribe so you never miss the next one. This group of sea lions basically created their own avalanche, tumbling down a steep slope toward the ocean in California. What makes this footage from Vance Air Force Base so alarming is the sheer size of the tornado, and that it touched down right near a populated area. Lava meeting snow makes for a stunning sight, but don't let the beauty fool you. It's a reminder of the sheer power a volcano can unleash. Watching a utility pole catch fire in the middle of flowing lava near Grindavik is proof that eruptions aren't just spectacular to watch. They can put entire communities at risk. While waiting on someone who could actually climb the tree, one quick-thinking volunteer lifted the baby up high enough for its mom to see and hear it calling. If you've got older trees near sidewalks, roads, or your home, get them checked regularly for internal decay, trunk cracks, or an unusual lean. It could prevent a disaster. Tour guide Michael Thomas caught thousands of wildebeest crossing the Mara River during their yearly migration in Tanzania. As Hurricane Irma closed in on Naples, Florida, wind gusts hit around 60 miles per hour. Please don't linger outside during a blizzard. Extreme cold, powerful winds, and even lightning can turn deadly fast. Heads up, inflatable floats are lightweight with a big surface area, which means strong wind can turn them into sails and carry them off. Thankfully, everyone walked away safe, but this is a good reminder that in the mountains, the avalanche itself isn't the only danger. The panic afterward can be just as risky. This dashcam earned its keep. Without it, there's no way the driver could have explained what just happened. This cashier deserves major credit, spotting the danger instantly and getting everyone to shelter right away. Over 640,000 olive ridley sea turtles showed up at Rushikulya Beach in Odisha, India, all to nest at once. Octopuses are true camouflage masters. This one might have been sneaking up on prey, or just showing off for the camera. The giant phantom jellyfish is incredibly rare. It lives so deep in the ocean that sightings like this almost never happen. Have you ever seen a wetland put on a color show quite like this one? Australia's waters host an incredibly diverse marine ecosystem, which is why run-ins with squid and other unusual sea life are always worth paying attention to. If the wind is strong enough to lift an umbrella, chair, or table, please just let it go. Don't try to hold on. This man walked away unharmed, but it's worth remembering. Strong winds can turn construction materials into dangerous flying debris in seconds. Winds in La Mesa, Texas hit 88 miles per hour, strong enough to seriously damage lightweight structures, topple big trees, and take down power lines. This isn't a flood to sit back and admire. It's a sobering reminder of just how destructive water becomes once it's out of control. Even the ones that don't breed this season still matter. They could be next year's breeding population. In Red Rock Desert regions like Utah, heavy rain can trigger flash floods almost instantly, since that rocky ground barely absorbs any water. That's exactly why you should think twice before driving right after a storm, especially on tree-lined roads or anywhere that just got hit with strong wind gusts. Slowing down even a little bit can go a long way in keeping drivers, pedestrians, and everyone else on the road safe. Hail happens when water droplets inside towering storm clouds get carried upward by powerful air currents, freeze solid, and eventually fall as hailstones. Lake effect snow forms when cold air travels over a comparatively warmer lake, soaks up extra moisture, and dumps it as snow on the downwind side. Those random bursts of energy, zoomies, show up in all kinds of young animals, from giraffe calves to dogs, cats, and beyond. Migrating flamingos over Lake Karakol in Kazakhstan paint a stunning ribbon of pink across the blue water when you see it from above. From battling a skin condition and a leg injury to joyfully running alongside her best friend, this dog's story is honestly one of the most heartwarming comebacks you'll see. A tornado-warned storm tore through Sulphur, Louisiana, with winds strong enough to send tree branches, outdoor lights, and patio furniture flying down the street. A 3-story building in Novo Osasco, Brazil came down in a matter of seconds. Wild horses usually stick together in herds while searching for food and water. Visitors at Yellowstone got an unforgettable sight when a bison happened to pause right in front of Old Faithful just as it erupted. This crab at Rye Pier in Australia might just be sporting the most unusual hat in the entire ocean. The sky over Colorado Springs looked like it was auditioning for a sci-fi movie that day. Nature had already painted this masterpiece. The camera just had to show up. A lot of animals don't recognize their own reflection and end up thinking it's a whole other creature. Meet Omphalotus nidiformis, better known as the ghost fungus, a glowing fungus that grows on decaying wood across southern Australia. I don't know if this dog has a license, but the confidence is already 100% professional. Somewhere in Oklahoma, an entire squad of moths apparently voted this house their new favorite rest stop. For once, that safety harness wasn't there to stop a fall. It was there to stop someone from flying off. If you had to score this performance and ignore where it happened, what would you give it? This is a young funnel-web spider, part of one of the most venomous spider families on Earth, mostly found in Australia. Definitely admire from a distance. The southern lights show up when particles from the sun collide with our atmosphere near the poles. When the sun sits low near the horizon, blue light scatters away more, leaving behind those gorgeous reds, oranges, and yellows. After decades of service, this coal-fired power plant in Ibbenbüren in Germany was brought down in a controlled demolition to make room for offshore wind infrastructure. A roll cloud is a long, low, tube-shaped cloud that often forms right along the edge of a thunderstorm. This might be the one species on Earth that can snack on caviar without a second thought. Don't panic. That small dust swirl nearby isn't necessarily a second tornado. It's probably just dust kicked up by strong wind. This might be one of those rare moments when Lake Victoria hosted two waterspouts at once. Trying harder isn't always the answer. Sometimes it's just about finding the right technique. In Brooklyn, New York, a simple sidewalk puddle somehow became the neighborhood's most controversial fish pond. Bee swarms usually happen when a queen and part of the colony pack up and leave the hive to go find a new home. During breeding season, male musk ducks pull out a totally unique courtship dance to win over the females. It was pretty unusual to see a helicopter circling over Glendale for about 15 minutes straight. A drought at Dinosaur Valley State Park in Texas unexpectedly uncovered footprints dating back a jaw-dropping 113 million years. Here's your challenge. Guess how many dolphins are in this pod. Closest guess wins. This has to be one of the most satisfying water releases you'll ever watch. The flower moon rose over the city like a giant lantern, wrapping up this year's run of supermoons. If you're diving near marine animals, please just observe from a distance. Don't try to touch them. If you didn't watch it happen live, you'd swear this was printed instead of handwritten. Skill like this only comes from putting in countless hours of practice. Asperitas clouds are famous for their rippling underside. They make the sky look like a rolling ocean. It looks like the volcano, and the whirlwind teamed up for this one. This might just be one of the grandest stages nature has ever built. No motor, no one pushing it, yet this block of ice just keeps spinning in the most mesmerizing way. Just gently opening this cocoon reveals an entire army of tiny spiders hiding inside. Overnight, these insects completely took over the store's entrance. Nature didn't need any special effects to pull off a scene this beautiful. Looks like this flamingo wasn't about to skip out on some salsa dancing. Scientists found that two species of Saccoglossan sea slugs can actually detach their own heads from their bodies, a wild process called self-amputation. This scene is almost too beautiful to be real, but it's also a reminder of just how powerful nature truly is. This is the kind of check-in only a Yellowstone bison would even attempt. Once they decide the coast is clear, the whole group quickly follows each other into the ocean to hunt for food. Please don't head outside during a storm just to film it or test the wind. Flying debris, sudden flooding, and downed power lines can turn deadly in an instant. A storm surge happens when powerful winds and dropping air pressure shove seawater to unusually high levels, flooding coastal areas fast. Thankfully, everyone was fine here, but it's a solid reminder to keep well clear of large trees whenever winds pick up. Forget the collapsed wall for a second. The real story here is that both people made it out just in time. Here's one people don't think about. Strong wind hitting a large door head-on can make it swing open violently, which can trap fingers or knock you clean off balance. Hail builds up inside powerful thunderstorms, where ice particles get tossed upward again and again by strong updrafts, growing bigger each time before finally dropping to the ground. A tornado warning went out for Clarkson as several severe storm cells rolled across eastern Nebraska that same day. Big animals like camels can catch drivers completely off guard, especially when visibility is low or the roads are too snowy to stop in time. From the Illusions wildlife video, over in Normandy, France, two waterspouts spun up at the exact same time, straight out of a disaster movie. The village of Achakulak in Russia's Stavropol Krai got swarmed by so many uninvited visitors that the crops were nearly buried under them. This is a blanket octopus, a deep ocean species that hardly anyone ever gets to see. No photo ever is worth putting yourself in danger for. Soaking in nature's beauty is amazing, but your safety always has to come first. Kindness toward wild animals is always appreciated, but the safest way to help them is to do it responsibly, not up close. This is called a brachinspector. It happens when light passes through mist and wraps a colorful halo around an object's shadow. A little patience goes a long way. It keeps you safe and keeps wildlife undisturbed.